Hello and welcome to this episode of The Print Unscripted. I am Neelam Pandey. Well, there is a lot of talk about the Waqf Act that was recently passed, but there are many questions that are there in the minds of the people. Well, we have with us Asaduddin Owaisi, who's the president of All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin. Welcome to The Print, sir.
Thank you.
The first question itself. Well, I am aware that, as we speak, SC is going to make a sort of a ruling on the Waqf Amendment Act, petitions for which were filed. One was by you also. Regardless of what the legal process, may shape up to be, how do you see the Waqf Act, play out on the ground?
Well, you don't know what kind of order the Supreme Court will give or not give. We'll have to wait for it till the proceeding starts today at 2 p.m. But the law itself, in our opinion, is unconstitutional. It discriminates only against one religion and the followers of that religion. And it's a blatant violation of not only Article 14, 15, 25 and 26 in particular. And whatever advantage or maybe the right word would be the constitutional rights which a Hindu endowment board enjoys, a Buddha or a Jain endowment board enjoys, along with Sikh Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee. Those same constitutional rights are being denied to the Muslims just because we are Muslims. So that is the sad part of it, and the worst part is that this law is rewarding the encroachers. By applying the Limitation Act, you are saying to all those people who have encroached on Waqf land that you will become owners, and unfortunately that has happened. And thirdly, you have this Waqf evacuate properties. Now you have taken away the title from the Waqf board and given it to the government. You have this law says that if a masjid or a dargah comes under the ASMR Act, that is ASI, it's a protected ancient monument, the title will not vest with the Waqf board. So basically, you're taking away not only the title, but you're also taking away the control to run that masjid, to go and pray over there. And then the ASI is controlling it because the government has expanded the definition of the government, which now also includes public sector undertaking. So it's completely, it's not a law, but it's a device to take away the Muslim religious places, to deny us our constitutional rights. And that is why you see every Muslim organization from Kashmir to Kanyakumari have rejected this amendment to the Waqf law.
There are critics who also say that this is the beginning of 1 million mutinies. Do you agree with that?
Well, if you are telling me that only if you practice Islam for 5 years, then only you can give your property to the Waqf. Who's the government to decide whether I'm practicing or not? Is that same provision there for the Hindu community or for the Buddhist or for the Sikhs? It is not there. And moreover, under Article 300A, it is anyone's right to give his property or not to give his property. That is their right. And practicing Muslim, now after Potoswamy judgment, Supreme Court, privacy has become a fundamental right. So who will decide this, whether I'm practicing or not? What would be so if you're pushing someone to the wall, and then on the basis of your majority in the parliament, you make a law to only discriminate against the biggest minority of this country, then yes, people will definitely come out and protest. And I hope it will be a peaceful protest.
But at the same time, what we are witnessing in Murshidabad is far from, peaceful protest. There are allegations that Hindus are being targeted. People are saying that Mamata Banerjee is quiet. How do you see that?
An unfortunate, condemnable incident did happen in Murshidabad. 2 people were killed by a mob, and one person was killed in police firing. And I hope that there's an end to all this violence, because if there's violence, you are helping the BJP government. So the protest should definitely happen, and it should be peaceful. And I'm sure that the protest will be peaceful. What has happened in West Bengal is completely wrong. It should not have happened.
But our the print reporter was on ground, and he found out that the provocation came from these non-entities like the newly floated Welfare Party of India, because Murshidabad is a place where at least 60-70% of the population, please correct me if I'm wrong, is Muslim. So why exactly is the protest taking place there? This is a central legislation. So Mamata Banerjee is saying that this is all linked to the BJP. BJP is behind it.
No, 70% or 30% or 80%, 20% does not matter. What really matters is that it is an act which has been passed by both the House of the Parliament, which has become a central law, which will be applicable throughout India. And as I told you earlier, that this law is only targeting and discriminating Muslims. So definitely we have to protest, we have to go to the Supreme Court, and the protest will definitely happen. But to say that if you are a majority in that area, don't protest, if you are a minority, then protest, that does not work. Because even if you're a minority or majority, this law is going to work against the Muslim community in particular. And whether it's a masjid, whether it is, if anyone wants to give his own property to the Waqf board, you cannot do it. Basically, this Modi government has turned Waqf board into a postman, into a post office. They have no powers whatsoever left. You are making rules, majority of the rules will be made by the central government. That is against, again, a violation of federalism. So, all in all, this is not in the interest of the Muslims at all.
You mentioned that, protests will take place, they will be peaceful. Many are also talking about the fact that similar protests took place during the Citizenship Amendment Act. And the BJP government and many others have asked that, there was this entire issue that citizenship of Muslims will be taken away. And they have said that, give us one name, one Muslim person who's been living in India whose citizenship has been taken. So they are saying that similarly with Waqf also, the opposition parties, these religious leaders, they are trying to sort of mislead the people.
CAA Act was exclusively made only on the basis of religion. You are denying people who follow the religion of Islam that they will not get citizenship. I have said this before, I say it again, that the CAA Act cannot be seen on its own. You have to see it with NPR and NRC. The moment NPR and NRC is done in India, we will know how bad this will be targeting the Muslim community. Because you'll be asking such various questions to prove my citizenship as a Muslim. It will be next to impossible to prove it. The example I can give you right now is Assam, where a Supreme Court monitored NRC was done. Out of what, 1.5 or 1 million people whose names are not included, you have around about 2 lakh Muslims whose names are not there. Now, the Chief Minister of that state has continuously said on record that all non-Muslims would be given citizenship under CAA. He's not saying the word that people who are Muslims also will get those citizenship rights. This is what we have been saying. And secondly, why isn't the government coming out with the list of or the names or the numbers of people they have given citizenship to? So so CAA has to be seen with NPR and NRC. And as far as Waqf is concerned, you have already taken away Waqf properties. I have, for example, that section on section 2A, section 3D. How is it that, when, for example, you have ancient monuments which are 200 years old. When was ASI created? During the Britishers' time. Now you are saying me that, oh, it's a protected and ancient monument, so it will not be a Waqf. So the title lies with the government, isn't it? So now the title has gone to government. When I have made it a Waqf and said that the owner of this Waqf property is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now you are saying, no, it will be Mr. Narendra Modi. How can that be possible? And then you are saying a designated officer. the designated officer is also a creation of the executive. You cannot be a judge in your own case. We follow the theory of separation of powers, which is part of the basic structure of our constitution. And then you want to have non-Muslims in Central Waqf Council, in State Waqf Board, mandatory too. Why are you saying that? Under Article 26, I have the right to establish, administer, and to run those religious charitable organizations. So this government is deliberately doing it to further their Hindutva ideology and to ensure that all people who have a religious identity, they are trying to erase that religious identity by making such absurd and unconstitutional laws.
The BJP has also been saying that big, prominent Muslim leaders have usurped land in the name of Waqf. I remember there was a discussion going on in the parliament when Kiran Rijiju was speaking on it, and someone from the back said, took your name. I mean, Rijiju didn't say anything, but why is it that such big names are sort of taken and their BJP?
See, you are taking. Where is the proof? And the worst part is that let us assume that someone has occupied.
No, Rijiju didn't take your name, but your name was floated.
I'm saying anyone, not my name.
Yeah.
Assume someone has taken my name. You are making me the owner, isn't it? By applying the Limitation Act, you're making me the owner. How are you going to remove me? Or remove anyone? I know these Johnnies have been given a script by the BJP guys to name, drop of the hat, name this, name that. Those buggers will definitely get a notice of defamation and they'll have to come to Hyderabad and do their own shopping over there. But the problem is you are making a law wherein you are making the encroacher the owner. BJP is helping through this law in ensuring that the richest man in India who has constructed his palace on an Aga Khani orphanage, that section 2 has only been brought in to help him, number one. That is only been done. Secondly, you want to help him through adverse possession. So this law is brought only to help him. Can the BJP, I'm challenging, I've said this in the parliament. You have made the section 2 in the garb of helping the Muslim Bora community, but you have not named them in that provision. Amit Shah said this in the parliament. Even the JWC report talks about it. You are helping the encroachers. See, there's so many encroachers on Waqf property. The moment you apply Limitation Act, they become the owners. How is it? I mean, how are you going to remove this encroachment? Please tell us. What provision is there in the bill? You are saying that within 6 months, you should put your details on the Waqf property. If we have a registered document, prove it. If you're not, then tell us who was the person who gave this property. Now, there's a Tilewali Masjid in Lucknow. How would I know? There are so many masjids in Delhi. There are so many masjids throughout India, more than 200 years old. Who gave this? How should I know? I have been using it. Waqf by user is being taken away from Muslims by saying, oh, if it is a government property in dispute, it cannot be Waqf by user. But the same thing is applied in Hindu religion. Mud by temple by usage, mud by usage becomes the property of the deity or the temple. B.K. Mukherjee is a renowned jurist for the Hindu religion issues. He has been a judge. He is an authority. He writes in his book, by usage it becomes a property of the temple or the deity. Why am I being denied that? So all in all, there is nothing to remove the encroachments. You are rewarding them, and moreover, earlier if had someone fraudulently alienated Waqf property, it was rigorous 2 years imprisonment and non-bailable section. Mr. Modi's government has made it bailable and 6 months imprisonment. Who are you rewarding? I'm challenging you, please show me a section wherein what you are saying, all those lies which you are saying, okay, if it's true, tell us which provision, which section. Come on, tell us the section. You're not able to say any section. Now, if I have a fight with you as a government, I have a Waqf property. It's a Waqf by user. Government has made a law and said that no, you cannot use Waqf by user because it is against the government. I have, as a Waqf board, cannot use it against my government. Waqf board, who should I use it against? Now, tomorrow, let us say, for example, you are an encroacher. I said, no, this is Waqf by user. The government says, no, we have made him the owner because you don't have documents. I have been using it, and Waqf by user has been upheld by the Supreme Court in Ram Mandir Ayodhya judgment. The ASI protected monument, I cannot go and claim it because no, we have removed Waqf by user. So the whole act has been drafted in such a way to grab away all the existing Waqf properties. So you are saying, oh, it will bring in transparency. What transparency are you bringing in? Now, I'll give one example. You have a provision, 5 years, you have to show as a Muslim.
Right, practicing Islam.
Now, let us take an example of a woman. Who would go and check her? Please tell me. She is a woman, she wants to give her property, her own property. I mean, how would you even check a woman whether she is practicing Islam or not?
But many have also pointed out that this 5-year clause is for those who have converted to Islam, not born Muslim.
So don't. You have to be a practicing Muslim. Where is the word convert? No, show us the word convert. We want to see the word convert. And what happens, if someone comes and beats me and force me to raise a slogan of JSR, would I be a Muslim or not? Why have you brought this provision? Please tell us. What is the necessity to bring in that provision? It is only to deny my religious agency and my right. That is the only thing you have to doing it. Is there such a provision for the Hindu community? And you know what? Let us say I agree with you for a while. Someone converts Islam. For 5 years he cannot give it to Waqf, but for 5 years he can give it to a mandir, to a Christian faith, to a Sikh religion, to a Jain religion, to a Buddhist religion. That you can do. I had asked this question in the Parliament committee to a group of retired judges and retired vice chancellor of law university. I said, yeah, you can give for 5 years to another religion, but no Islam. I said, isn't it violation of right to equality? You have no answer. So that is why I'm saying that this law is part of BJP's ideology to make this country, ensure that there's only one particular ideology, not even religion. That ideology is prevalent everywhere.
You mentioned about one particular, person that the BJP is trying to help. You don't want to name them?
I have named it in the parliament. I have said it in 2013. You please, it's available. In 2013, I have mentioned that person's name. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is fighting a case of his home in Supreme Court. The case is there in Supreme Court. So now you bring in a legislation to help him only, because he brought a property of Aga Khani. And then not only him, but you are even helping this Dargah, Haji Ali Dargah, Mahim Dargah, and the Minara Masjid. There will be trust. So, in the name of helping our Bori Muslim brethren, you are helping Mr. Mukesh Ambani only, because the case is pending in Supreme Court. What does that section 2 says? Who is it helping? And why are you taking away the Waqf evacue properties? And the title you're bestowing it to government, it is plain reading, you're taking away my Waqf rights, my Waqf property and giving it to the government, simple as that. In Haryana, it's a huge source of revenue, those Waqf evacue properties, you're taking it away. So all in all, there is nothing in this law which will really help the Waqf board. And there's talk about, we have ensured that 2 Muslim women will be made members. A complete rubbish. Load of lies. I mean, these people, do they feel that they can pull a wool over our eyes? In 95 Act, it says at least 2 women. Now you are saying only 2 women. Why only 2? You should have at least 2. You could have gone beyond that. I mean, you want to have, you have specified, if you see the law, you have specified under the Muslims, it should be this, it should be that, it should be this, that. What about those 2 mandatory Hindus or non-Muslims? What specification or qualification are prescribed? That qualification only religion. It's in every way, whatever possible, and then you have removed a second survey. Now tomorrow, once this act comes into existence, there is no second survey going to be done. You need a survey to be done to know what work properties are there, what properties should be included. So everywhere you have taken away the powers of Waqf board. The CEO cannot be a Muslim. Why can't this? You see Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, Odisha, Kashi Vishwanath, 1950 Bihar. The government officer has to be of that religion only. Here you are saying no, it will not be of that religion.
Okay, frankly, do you think there is mismanagement in the Waqf? Do you think? Let's forget about what this government may have done.
There is mismanagement in the country. Why Waqf board? The government didn't knew what was when COVID was happening. The government mismanaged the whole COVID crisis, and the Prime Minister gave only few hours to 130 crore people that we are going to have a close down. We are going to close down everything. There were laborers walking on railway tracks who died in Aurangabad, Maharashtra.
But do you think Waqf management needed reforms?
There was mismanagement. Economy is being mismanaged. We have 4.5 unemployment among the youth, only in the youth. So what about that? Of course, there will be some wrong decisions or mismanagement will be there, but the cure you are prescribing is to kill the patient completely. If you are saying that there has been encroachment, in 2014, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, as a then minister, had moved a bill to remove the illegal occupants from the Waqf property. Why did you withdraw that bill? Please tell us. Didn't the Sachar committee say that please have public premises eviction act, give that provision to the Waqf board? You don't want to give that. So you instead of making it more, strengthening it, giving them more powers, like for example, the Hindu Endowment Board has summary eviction powers that Waqf board does not have. And you know what? Even if a Waqf board wins a case in Supreme Court against anyone, the Waqf board will have to go back to the state and file an EP petition in the local court to get that possession of that property. There are so many, and as it is, the Waqf board is the most regulated Waqf board. You have spread a lie by BJP. Oh, you cannot go against the decision of tribunal. Completely wrong. You file a review petition in High Court. That has been the case with NCLAT. That has been the case with NGT, Income Tax Tribunal, Railway Claims Tribunal. There are 14 tribunals wherein after a judgment is given by tribunal, you file a review petition in High Court. You have now said that even if a tribunal is not there, go to another tribunal or go to directly High Court. Earlier it was a sitting judge. Now you said retired judge. A sitting district judge was appointed by the Chief Justice of that High Court, wherein he was in the administrative control of the High Court. Now you are saying retired judge. He'll be under administrative control of whom? Though he'll be a retired judge. But why have you done this? Why have you done this? For what? I mean, there is no reasoning. And this whole farce of the government, so we had consultations, JWC sat for so many, but where is the community? Have you done any meetings with the community? Have you spoken to the real stakeholders? And you talk about stakeholders, in our JWC committee, one organization was called, whose 4 members were convicted for terrorism. Now that organization was called to give Gyan on the Waqf board. So what kind of things happen in JWC? Someone can write a book and it will be a bestseller. I'm telling you what really happened in the JWC.
So, I've already spoken to you about the violence that took place in Murshidabad, but just wanted to, bring the focus back on the fact that, Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister, has been talking about it as a conspiracy by the BJP. What's your view on that?
I cannot sit here and say she is the Chief Minister. But yes, violence should not have happened. Violence should not happen. The protest should be peaceful. And what violence happened is not good.
One last question on Waqf. How do you think this legislation is going to play out in the field? Like, if it has been passed, once it starts getting, the repercussions of it, how will it play out?
It will play out in a way wherein the Muslims will start losing their Waqf properties. It will play out in such a way that there will be more issues of masjids not being masjids. There will be people from the RSS organization claiming that, oh, this was not a masjid 200 years ago or 400 years ago, this was this and that. And then there'll be if this law prevails, then Muslims will not be allowed to pray in masjids which are under ASI. They can close it in this garb of, oh, the monument is getting damaged, or they can say, oh, you can pray after sunrise and before sunset, that is 2 times a day, or they can say, oh, you can pray only once on Friday, or they can say, oh, you can only pray on 2 Eid days. So wherein we'll be losing our property. And secondly, once a dispute is there between the government and the Waqf board, and it is decided by that so-called designated officer, he will of course decide in the government favor. So the Waqf board will be packed with nominees of the government who will just be deaf, blind and dumb, and they will never protest to the decisions of the government. That is why this whole nominee system has been created. Earlier there was elections of 2 MP category, MLA category and Bar Council and Mutawalli. So the government will, especially the BJP ruled state government, will be packing with all their Johnnies over there. And the government will be taking away all Waqf properties, and the Waqf board will just be a mute spectator to what will be happening. So this will definitely happen. Evacuee properties, it will not be Waqf property. ASI protected monuments will not be a Waqf property. The conflict with the government, all properties will be, the collector will say, oh, do the mutation in favor of the government. We will be losing our masjids. We will be losing our dargahs. The Shias will be losing their Imam Badas, because many Imam Badas in Lucknow are under ASI. So all in all, this is not going to help anyone. Yes, it's going to help the topmost rich man in our country, because you have created Section 2 only for him. Nothing, that Section 2 unnecessary, the Bora community has been used to serve the vested interest of a person who could have made his palatial palace on any land, but he chose to buy it from an orphanage.
While speaking in Haryana recently, PM said that, the previous regime did nothing and people remained puncturewalas, his word. Do you think that, the Waqf law is a remedy for that?
So you see, the Prime Minister, why did he sell chai? Who does he do? Mr. Modi, by selling tea, is he making his own government responsible for him, forcing him to sell tea? He claims, now he said, oh, I've sold tea on the railway station. And this puncturewala, this barb, this adjective used against the Muslim community. What have you done in last 11 years? How did Pilu Khan, Akhlaq die? How did Hafiz, that young boy Hafiz, was murdered in a train? All these mob lynchings which have happened in BJP ruled states, all these bulldozers that have been used. And why did you go and demolish that small hut of a Muslim puncturewala just because some allegation was made that in India-Pakistan a T20 or T20 match, some slogans were raised, and then you go and demolish it? Why have you stopped giving scholarship to the Muslims, to the minorities? In fact, you have decreased the numbers of pre-matric scholarship. When the whole world knows, empirical studies say that the Muslims have the highest dropout rate in the lower primary school level. You have closed down the Maulana Azad Fellowship. You have never given the amount of money that was given for you have a scheme called Qawmi Taraqqiyati scheme to develop Waqf properties to increase the revenue. 22-23, Narendra Modi government gives 17 crores. You release 3 crores, only 1 crore was used. You don't have a single Muslim MP. You could have made one puncturewala MP. You could have given him a ticket and say, oh, dekho, ye Abdul hai, isko MP banao. You don't have that. You don't even, and you as a Prime Minister, you stand up in election and say that Mangal Sutra from Hindu woman would be grabbed and given to Muslim women. You have demeaned us. You have, your language does not befits a prime minister. Right to dignity, the prime minister should know, is a fundamental right now, and dignity belongs to every religion. Where is my dignity as a Muslim community? You stood up and said, and you identify these people with the clothes they wear. So the prime minister and his party has no love for the Muslim community. Yes, our prime minister has love for any Gulf country sheikhs he meets. He embraces them. But when it comes to an Abdul or a Salim of our country, Prime Minister just treats them as some sort of alien pariah, That is because, unfortunately, he follows his own ideology, not the Indian nationalism.
But the fact is, and as such a committee report had also brought out, that, over the decades, not much has changed for the Muslim community as far as, the Congress regime is concerned. And now the BJP is saying this, that, we have done a lot of reforms, whether it's abolishing the triple talaq, UCC.
See, let us go by PLFS data. What is that PLFS data saying? Which community is suffering? Your own data. Then you come to NSSO surveys. Thirdly, you come to your family health survey of all these rubbish lies which they have propagated, that Muslims are having more children. The TFR rate of any religious community which has fallen down is the Muslim community. Then, Sachar is very old. In 2014 October, Kundu committee had given the report, which was given to Najma Heptullah, who was then minister.
Yes.
Professor Kundu had came out with empirical findings that the highest dropout rate of any religion are the Muslims. What have you done for that? So, what have you done to safeguard us? Your own chief minister says Urdu is a Katmulla ki zaban. So, what has BJP done? You proudly stand up and say we'll use bulldozers. Bulldozers are being used against whom? Against Dalits and the Muslim community only in particular.
But in between, they keep doing this Saugate Modi during Eid, outreach to the Muslims. How do you see that then?
What is that Saugat? Saugat, they have given Saugat in the form of taking away properties. This Wafla should be named not Ummeed but Saugate Modi only. Where is this? Where are you? What kind of language is this? I thought the Prime Minister Revdi mat do, phir ye kya de rahe, phir aap bhik de rahe humko. That Saugate Modi.
The kit.
Kit. Why don't you tell your print journalists to file an RTI and find out how many Muslims have been given houses? How many Muslims have been given, that scheme which they have of giving loans for 50,000? You never give that reply. The minister stands up and says, I have filed RTI applications. The Prime Minister Awas Yojana. Give us the names of the list of UP. Oh, we don't have that. Why don't you have it? When you stand up and say, Hum sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas, nothing is there. The Muslim, you don't even allow us to protest. In UP, someone had worn a black flag and they were given notice of fine. You are pushing this 17 crore community to the wall. This is not good. This is not at all good for a democracy.
So Saugate Modi is not really an outreach.
Forget about Saugate Modi. You are attacking the Muslims on their religion, on their masjid, on their businesses, on their economy, on their houses. And you have created this environment. It's not that the Muslim community is afraid, but is this good for a democracy? Is this good for a democracy that we are aspiring to make India Vikshit Bharat? Inshallah, let us make it. But how do you make Vikshit Bharat if you completely alienate 18 crore Indian population?
The BJP on the Waqf Act has also come up with, it has prepared literature. I have had a look at it, and they are also now going to the Christian areas, and they have identified states where there is a large population of Christians, and they are going to tell them that how this act is going to benefit you, and exactly. This is controversy of Munabbam also. How do you look at that?
Exactly, that is what I'm saying. Who's it benefiting? I've been sitting here and talking to you and saying it's not benefiting Muslim community. So you want to go and tell another community, and then organizer carried an article that, oh, you have a Christian community which has used, the Catholic community have used, lakhs and lakhs of acres of land. see, it starts with the Muslim community. Then, of course, it will come to the Christians. Then, lastly, the Sikhs. And of course, after everyone. So, when the Organizer magazine carried an article, then they have to remove it. Why did they remove it? Come on. I mean, you people claim to be so nationalist. Why are you afraid? You have shown your true face by putting that article that you will go after the Christian community as well. So, BJP does not believes in this whole concept of pluralism and diversity of our country, which includes the minorities as well.
But on Munammam, they have all gone all out.
No, but on what all out? So how will this bill help them? Please tell me. How will this bill help them? Please tell. I want to know from Kiran Rijiju and Prime Minister, how will it help them? Please specify. Please tell us this section will help them. This section will. Please tell us, show us. And then please tell us how will this help the Muslim community also. You are not able to talk about it. See, you have only brought this to suppress the Muslim community, to target the Muslim community. That is your main purpose of bringing this bill and making it law.
But you are someone who studied at Lincoln's 8. You are someone who's seen as very progressive, someone who speaks his mind.
I have to stop you over here.
Yeah.
What is this whole thing of progressiveness? No, what is the progressiveness? I don't know what is the progressiveness.
No, because there are many, people who are seen as conservative.
What makes any Muslim retrogressive? No, he's not progressive. What is that? Please tell
me. But do you think that the Muslim society needs reform?
No, reform, all these terms are only when I'm on a level playing field.
Right.
You see, I'm not on level playing field. The Constitution talks about substantive equality. How can you say that, all of us are equal and we are not equal? When day in, day out, the Muslim youths are being targeted, especially educated youths. You have a program in place to deny us our political agency. And reforms, if you tell someone, Muslims should reform by leaving their religious identity, why should I leave my religious identity? Because
no, I'm not saying that.
No. This is the argument given by BJP. Because this is what Savarkar wrote in his Hindutva. If you want to live here as if you are some subjects of something. The Savarkar ideology is very clear. If I have to live here, I should leave my religion. I should be subservient to one particular ideology. If you call that reform, I will not accept it because that goes against the basic structure of our constitution. And who are you to tell me, that you are the landlord and I am the tenant? That is not acceptable to anyone. And these people who are now telling us, where were they in 1857 War of Independence? The first person to go to Kalapani was from Hyderabad. A Maulana of Makkah Masjid, Maulana Alauddin, he died over there. You come and tell me, this and that. Your heroes were writing love letters to the Britishers to please leave us. We'll embrace you, we'll kiss your hand, we'll kiss and that. I cannot speak the language of Trump, but they were doing everything. So, what is this? And another argument, we want to bring you in mainstream. How do you bring us into mainstream? By targeting us. How do you bring us into mainstream? By not giving us a political representation from so-called secular parties as well. And see, these are not, whatever I'm telling you is not rhetoric. These are facts. Maybe coming out from Asaduddin Owaisi, people say, this man is, but these are facts. Please go and check it out and disprove me. So reforms of what? Reforms to what? I am at the abyss of the sea. What reform do you want me to do? What is the literacy rate of Muslim women? What is the literacy, educated number in universities? Where is it? So, to say all these things, it's very easy for anyone. Reform, you must have reform kariye, mainstream mein laiye. अरे भाई आप तो सांस नहीं दे रहे मुझे. You are not allowing me to breathe properly. In last 11 years, you started with triple talaq. Then you brought in CAA. Then UCC in various states. And UCC exemption is be given to all Hindu religion, Hindu culture is protected.
Tribals.
And you have given now in this Waqf Act, you are saying that
Tribal land will not be.
What will happen to Hamdullah Saeed? Please tell me, who's an MP, who's a tribal Muslim MP from Lakshadweep. What will happen to him? Please tell me. There are so many Muslim tribals. You are saying that, oh, the Waqf will not apply to you, your masjid is not your masjid. I cannot take a tribal land, but a tribal can give it now. Schedule 5 schedule is what the schedule is there. It's a tribal, non-tribal cannot go there, or that rule says. But what about a tribal who's a Muslim? Please tell me. You have made that stupid law called triple talaq, wherein now you have more desertions of Muslim women by all these men who men are men. Complete bogus law you have made. It is more painful to see all Muslim women being deserted.
But at the same time, then they would have been left in a sort of a setup where they wouldn't have got anything at all.
No, but now what is happening is that desertion. This is what I said in Parliament also when the debate happened. And then, even if, see, let us assume, as a Muslim, I have said this before, you cannot divorce your wife to triple talaq. That's a sin. But what the government has done, they are saying, if you pronounce triple talaq, the marriage is not over, but it's a crime. If the marriage is not over, then under what rule are you sending me to prison? Now, till the court decides, why should my daughter or my sister or my whatever it is should be stuck with that stupid man? She should continue. And in Islam, marriage is a contract. As compared to other religions, this is not janam janam ka saath. It's a contract. What the government could have done in that law is that have a condition in the Nikah-nama that if you divorce your wife to triple talaq, then whatever that meher amount is, that you should pay 300 times more. And apart from triple talaq, you have the Domestic Violence Act. It gives you the right to stay in the home. You have made this stupid law, desertions are happening. And how are the Muslim women getting justice? Please tell us. On the ground, I meet many Muslim women by sitting in my office in Darussalam 5-6 days a week. I don't see any change. In fact, it is causing them huge injustice. So
they're not getting compensated.
What compensation? What compensation? Please tell me. That fellow is in prison. The government expects that buffoon to sit in prison and send monies to his wife. So all these, buggers are just deserting and leaving the woman in the lurch.
Well, moving on to you and your politics, we have NDA on one hand, we have the so-called India Alliance. Why don't we see you in either?
No, see, the skies are not going to fall if I don't join the so-called secular combination.
No, they won't. But why? Why is that?
No, that is for them to answer. That is for them to answer. If I stand up in Parliament and see from 2014 onwards, I have been opposing every legislation of BJP. And when it came to the amendment of UAPA, and with that amendment which Amit Shah brought in as a Home Minister, you have young Muslim boys and girls whose life has been destroyed. They are in prison for 5 years. Who supported that bill? Please tell me. It was not me. It was those parties who at the drop of the hat will curse me, will make allegations against me. You had supported the BJP by making that draconian law. So, if they want our support, speak to us.
So, if RG says that he wants in his Mohabbat ki dukaan, Mr. Owaisi, would you join?
अरे भाई दुकान भी आपकी, मालिक भी आप ही रहेंगे, मुझे कस्टमर भी बनाने नहीं देंगे आप, तो मैं क्या करूं उसमें?
But you were very close with the Congress at one point.
Those, yeah, I mean, that was during UPA's time. But something really bad happened in 2011 and 12.
What went wrong?
It's a long thing, but so anyway, now we are not. But as far as Telangana is concerned, we are giving our constructive support to Mr. Revant Reddy. And we hope that Telangana prospers, Telangana remains peaceful. And so far, the Revant Reddy government, they have accepted our representations on the development of on various issues. But apart from that, I don't know, So, and good luck to us, good luck to them. So every party has their own idea of how to approach things. But one thing is very important. That is, the Muslim community must realize that where is your political leadership? And why don't you have a political leadership? When every caste among the Hindu community has a political leadership or a semblance of political leadership. The Sikhs have their political leadership. The Christians have their political agency. Where is the Muslim political agency? Where is the Muslim political leadership?
But shouldn't the political leaders also answer that?
So क्या बोलना चाहिए इसको? मेरी शिकायत पहले मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी से, and they should realize. Forget about me, I might be here, and I'll definitely not be there tomorrow. Everyone will have to leave this temporary world. But why isn't that we don't have a political leadership? Where is your political voice?
And why is that?
And if the Muslim community feels that, oh no, we don't require X, Y, Z, or Mr. So and so is there, His Exhausted Highness is there. These exhausted or these exalted highness have not helped you at all. The reality of Indian democracy is that that particular caste or community has survived or progressed or benefited if they have a political leadership. The Muslim community has no political agency.
But why do you think?
Because we have been deceived in the last 40 years by saying, oh no, we don't require a political leadership. We should be happy in doing some Urdu mushaira. We should be having serving Shir Khurma to Neelam Pandey when she comes to my home on Eid.
So you're blaming the Congress for it?
No, I'm blaming everyone. I'm blaming myself. How does it help me if I serve Shir Khurma to anyone coming to home? Of course, anyone is welcome. My friends do come. But end of the day, that Shir Khurma is what? Where is that Shir? It is not there afterwards. When it comes to casting of votes, how many do you have? Only 22 or 23 MPs getting elected, and majority of them are from those parliament constituencies which have 30% above Muslim vote. So, is this good for a democracy? Number one, this is not good for the Muslim community as well. Forget about people cursing me and all this thing, but the community at large must realize, in the light, especially in the light of what is happening with the Waqf law.
Now, you mentioned about people cursing you. I also want to ask you that, how do you feel when, political parties or otherwise also, they call you the B team of the BJP, though I would like to qualify that we have looked at the electoral results and that is not the case. But still, this entire thing about you being the BJP's B team.
I don't care about it. I don't care. So
it doesn't affect you?
No, it doesn't affect me at all. Earlier it was, but I don't.
Many end up believing it.
Well, if someone has put a hijab on their brain, I cannot do it. I cannot help them, because if you don't want to think rationally, as you have rightly said, your print have come out with articles showing the data also. Now, if someone wants to believe it, so basically they have their own vested interest. And I feel that people who believe, majority of them have this defeatist mentality. And they feel that, oh, let us just confine ourselves to our homes and just go out on the day of vote and vote for a party and come back. My argument is, my whole struggle is, we are citizens of this country. We are not mere voters. You become citizen when you have a political leadership, when you have a political voice. If you want to be voter, then who will talk about your fundamental rights? Who will become your voice? Who will talk about safety of your or progress or your share in development? That will only happen if the Muslims become citizens. That is the whole thing over here. What BJP and other political parties have done is that, no, you are only an voter. We are saying we are citizens of this country. If I am a citizen, I should get equal rights which are being given to everyone. You cannot deny me my fundamental rights. You cannot deny me my share in the development. You cannot deny me my share in political representation. So this has to be understood, and this must come from the Muslim community. And I'm sure that the present Muslim youths who are in the age of 18 and 28, they have understood this whole game. And I'm sure that inshallah they will not fall prey to this whole idea of, oh, you're only an voter. They will bring in a change, I'm telling you.
But overall, I mean, what we've noticed is that, the Muslim community as a whole, it has become a bit of, silent, whether it is about UCC, whether it's about CA, or even, the
See, you're
Supreme
contradicting yourself.
No, they become
No,
silent
you are
in terms of
contradicting
reacting.
yourself within 2 minutes.
No, how?
No, how? Because, see, you are saying I'm a B team. Now,
No, I am not saying
your
that.
question was I'm a B team.
Yes.
Now, you are also saying that Muslims have become silent. Why have they become silent? That is
The
what
community.
No, why have they become
yes.
silent? If we are citizens, why should we be silent?
Now, which is why I'm asking you.
Exactly. Because we have been reduced to that status by these so-called communal parties and these so-called by the real communal parties and by these pseudo-communal parties.
Why do you call them pseudos?
Because if what you are saying is completely true, why have you made this community silent? 17-18 crore of Indian nationals who are silent. Is that good for a democracy? You want, I think so when I was very young, I had watched this movie called Sholay. You had one A.K. Hangal saying, "Ye sannata kaisa hai?" Do you want that sannata? Is that sannata good for us? Let the party in power decide. Let all these people who are in power or these power brokers should decide. Do you want this silence? Do you want this radio silence good for you? Is this good for a democracy? Is it good for making India Vikshit Bharat? That you suppress and you target, you alienate a particular community. And these are all, I'm not saying this to create an emotion over here. It can be backed by all empirical data. And the biggest thing is now BJP has institutionalized the hatred for Muslim community. You see on social media, you see on TV, you see everywhere. This is happening.
But you just mentioned the communal and the pseudo-communal. I'm just going to wrap up in 5 minutes. But, there is a communal versus secular debate in the country. Where do you place yourself in that debate? Because, even in the so-called secular, what should I say?
You see, the problem...
Community, you're not part of that.
I'll answer it, but I'm digressing a little. There are, among the majority community, there are some people who say that, no, you don't require a Muslim voice, we'll be your voice. Why, I'm not stopping you, but what is it that you are telling us? You don't have a voice, we don't want you to become a voice.
Or the agency.
Whatever, yes, exactly. So, what is left for this community apart from being silent, tell me? My whole last 10, 15 years or before that also, we have been saying the same thing. And people don't understand that what we do in Hyderabad is on the ground for people to see. We don't win elections on the basis of giving some fiery oratory. You have to do something on the ground. Whereas other parts of India, Muslims have no choice. You had one Muslim MP from Maharashtra, Imtiaz Jalil. Everyone joined and defeated him. The pseudo-secular, the real communal parties, everyone joined. No, anyone can win, but not Imtiaz.
Is that the reason that you've not been able to sort of expand, that you've remained a Hyderabad-based party?
No, we are expanding. It will, our party's work will continue, our efforts will continue. We are not going to get stopped by all these, small speed breakers, which are part and parcel of political life. We will continue to work hard. Now Bihar is there. We'll be contesting in Bihar.
Last time you did very well, but a lot of your...
And who took away those 4 MLAs?
I was just about to ask that.
No, who took away those 4 MLAs? If the split in Shiv Sena and the taking of Congress MLAs in Karnataka and in Rajasthan was an attack on democracy, but taking away 4 MLAs of AIMIM is not an attack on democracy. This is what I'm saying. You can do anything. See, I have a bulldozer in front of me, and there's another party which wants to take away my MLAs. So what you do is right, is it? So what happened to your MLAs in Maharashtra is bad. What happened to your MLAs in Karnataka is bad. What happened to your MLAs in Rajasthan is bad. Or Madhya Pradesh, it is bad. But when someone takes my MLAs in by buying them, is that a Gandhian act? You don't say anything on that. So that is what I'm saying. This is what you are doing. You don't want a Muslim political agency. I say you don't want it, but why are you not talking about them? Why are you not doing something about it? Why are you not changing things? You have voices of all caste in your parties. What about the Muslim community? Nothing is there.
My last few questions. We have all talked about it. There was a huge controversy over Aurangzeb and his legacy. But what is Aurangzeb to Owaisi? Because many say that he was a good administrator. Why this controversy always comes up?
No. What is Aurangzeb to me? What is Pushpa Mitra Sangha to Prime Narendra Modi or to any Brahman BJP leader? Please ask them this question. What is now there's a fight going on in Bodh Gaya. Will Mr. Modi stand with the Buddhist or with someone else? Please tell us. Bodh Gaya was a Buddhist monastery, isn't it?
Right.
So why am I being asked a question what happened 400 years ago? Why am I not being asked that who was Mahmudul Hasan?
No, which is why I'm asking that this controversy keeps
I know
coming
it is your right to ask me a question, but why is it that I'm not being asked how did Allama Fazl, what is Allama Fazl Khairabadi to Owaisi? What is Mahmudul Hasan to me? What is Hussain Ahmad Madni to me? What is the Johar brothers to me? What about Bahadur Shah Zafar? Why not Bahadur Shah Zafar? But this whole binary, Aurangzeb. If Aurangzeb was there, didn't Aurangzeb had Hindu generals in his army? And that Hindu general who was there, you have made his progeny the deputy CM of Rajasthan. What is that to you? Someone said of something of Rana Sangha, but wasn't Rana Sangha's wife had sent a Rakhi to Humayun? That is history. How can you change history? Please tell me. Now, if someone is going to ask me about Aurangzeb, I say I have to ask them about Pushpa Mitra Sangha. I'll ask about that Kashmiri king who had one military wing only to go and demolish mandirs and to loot mandirs. Who will answer for that? Was there a constitution at that time? BJP has nothing to show till 1947. From War of Independence, so they have to go back 400 years, 500 years, 600 years. And then you want to take the country forward. I don't know. I leave it to the wisdom of Prime Minister if he does that.
Why I asked that was because, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has often said that, the DNA of Hindu and Muslims is the same. So,
Madam,
so then how do you see that?
I will not believe a devil. I will not believe what RSS says.
That it's not the same?
RSS believes in theory of confusion. When the whole country was protesting against the emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi, what was Bala Sahab Deoras doing? Look at the letters he wrote to Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So this is a deliberate theory of confusion. This is created by RSS. Oh, aisa mat karo. And who are these people who have gone to courts? Are they not connected in some way to the RSS? And why we made this law, this Waqf law? And who will it help? Will it not create more controversies? Will it not create more divisions on the basis of places of worship? So this is whatever RSS is saying is to send out a message to Western countries, to send out a message to these so-called Muslim monarchies. सब कुशल मंगल है, आप फिक्र मत करिए, या हबीबी बोली हम गले मिलते रहेंगे, आप आराम से बैठिए. But something else is happening on the ground.
My last question, AIMIM is often seen as a party of Muslims. How do you see that? And at the same time, the future of AIM and of Mr.
It is
Owaisi.
not a party of Muslims exclusively only.
Why is this perception then?
Yeah. Well, I cannot stop it. But to talk about a community and their empowerment, that is not wrong. That will make the Indian democracy more stronger. So, I'm talking about substantive equality. I want share in politics, in economy, in education. That is not wrong to ask, because that is the constitution which tells me. If you see the
that is not wrong to ask, but then others always question. Then other religion can also have certain parties catering to them.
No, you have You have Shiv Sena. You have Telugu Desam. You have earlier it was TRS, now it is BRS. You have Telugu Desam. You have DM.
But it's not a political religion.
No. See, what is Shiv Sena now? Please ask them. What is your religion, region? What is BJP? What is BJP? Please tell me. If you read their constitution, or if you read what RSS, every BJP member says that we are from RSS. What is the oath of RSS? They take an oath to uphold, to promote, to make India as a Hindu nation. What is that? I am not asking for India to be converted into a, God forbid, a theocracy. I am saying that democracy has to be strengthened, should be strengthened, and will be strengthened if the minorities get their rightful share or their place over there. And this is what Baba Sahib Ambedkar dreamt about. This is why he had incorporated the word liberty, equality, justice, and fraternity. Justice, what? Justice only for justice? No, in every sphere of life, justice should be there. Liberty, fraternity, equality. This is what the Indian Constitution talks about it. And there's nothing wrong in what I'm doing. If someone feels, otherwise, good luck to him. I don't have any medicine to improve his indigestion or his mental state. Why cannot do anything about that?
And the future of AIM?
It is good. It will be good, inshallah. It will be more better. Because what we are doing now will definitely help in future. I might not live to see that day, God knows, but Allah knows only. But inshallah, we'll have to fight. We'll have to, if I am dreaming about something, I have to ensure that my dreams are realized, if not in my lifetime, but someone else should at least not live in this present state in which we are living.
But would you encourage your children to get into politics?
Why? I don't know what will happen to them, because they are very young now. I don't know what will happen in the future. So, right now they are more busy in their school, education, medicine, degrees, good. They are very happy. Alhamdulillah, Allah has been kind to us.
Are you able to give them enough time with all your work?
See, all these politicians, they fool all of you. We get time.
There's sufficient time.
Yeah, everyone will get time. Of course, you see, you are a journalist, you have to do your work. But end of the day, you have a responsibility if one is married or to your parents. You have time. You have to take out time.
So you have time for your hobbies. We know that you ride bikes and all.
See, it's all how do you manage it. How do you, it's all how do you compartmentalize everything? You know, everyone does it, but all these, when I see on TV channel, politicians say, "Oh, I'm so busy, I'm not able to do spend time with my children, my wife." All
But what is it that you do when you get time? Because you travel a lot, Hyderabad,
yeah, of
Delhi.
course, this is my work. This is my
Huh.
work, but I do, when I get back time, when I get back to my home, that is, I try to spend maximum amount of time. And now life has become very easier and also very painful with the advent of technology.
You're always connected.
Yeah, but end of the day, yes, we do get time. The family also understands, and yes, you know, but for my wife's so much of support to me, and understanding the work I'm doing. But yes, you know, she has more rights over me. My children have more rights over me, and I'll have to ensure that I'm there for them. So yes, I try to be there. But to say that, oh, we don't get time, or visa, oh, 18 ghante, that's all. I don't believe in that. You know, because everyone is doing some work in India. So politicians are not something special. You know, we are not something special. We have to do our work. We have to manage our things. If you don't manage your own house, how do you manage your own constituency?
Thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank
Mr. Owaisi, for your time. This is Neelam Pandey reporting for The Print.